Hey there everybody, this is the last bit of Dragons footage that I have for you in this little series. We will be doing a 60 of this probably tomorrow if this goes out Sunday. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to go out. Facing Dimitri XX here with some Enter the Dracomancer. This is not a terrible deck. The meta's obviously changed. I mean, I played that red deck a little bit ago and that worked. This is not a bad opening hand. We've got Cultivate. You got to worry about longevity in this game, though, especially with this deck. So it always causes you to think a little bit harder about what you're looking for out of your opener. Now, I'm immediately fucked because I look at this thing and I know that's an Elves. So the fact that I don't have Charm makes me very, very worried. Instead, I'm drawing another Terramorphic Expanse, thinking about what order I'm going to play stuff in since I have the Cultivate in hand. But that Terramorphic Expanse is not getting me there fast enough. This guy's friggin' Elves, which sucks balls. So obviously, Charm would allow me to do 2 damage to everything, which would at least allow me to stabilize for a minute, so I can try and find something in this deck that I can do. But I don't know. It's icky. It's a scary, scary thing. We've talked about the mana curve earlier. I need like 3 red sometimes to do stuff. And I've already got 2 of each other color, so I should be focusing on the red here. I actually fuck up in a minute. You'll see why later down the road, but I don't get 2 more red with the Cultivate, which is really what I should have been focusing on at this point in the match. But we'll go ahead and play Dragon Fodder. They'll come down as 2 1/1s. I'm hoping at the very least that I'm not going to get attacked right now, but Jorga could have came down right there and made those guys 2/2, which would have really sucked. Instead, we see Anissa's Chosen, which isn't that bad for me. I mean, that thing's got recycling and everything like that. It's going to pop back in the pile and come right back out. But it's still not the worst thing to see. Now, Jun Charm is amazing. I'm so excited to see it. I bring it up so I can show you. I'm like a little kid proud of a drawing he painted or something. But now I'm thinking about what I want to do with my life. I mean, I obviously want to block down that Chosen eventually, but I don't have to do that right now. So I go ahead, and there's all sorts of cool things that we can do. The only thing that really screws me is going to be, and to that end, I only have to double block to really get around that. But the only thing that's going to screw me is really a Jorga here, because it would be able to give everybody +1/+1. So I go ahead and Cultivate. And like I said earlier, that's where I fuck up for the first time, because I'm not really keeping in mind that I need 3 red. And that actually does come up. And one of the only ways that's going to give me the strength and the longevity to beat my opponent long term when they have this deck, because this deck, as you know, this elf deck, has card draw. Like a mad amount of card draw to get more elves in your hand, which is a main weakness. I wish that we had card draw in this pile. That would be amazing. I like drawing the Dragon Fodder because it's going to give me something else to do after I wipe the field, which is going to be this coming turn, his coming turn, because I have to block the 2/3 that's going to come in. Not much else to do, and here I fuck up again, not getting that red. Freaking jackass over here. I don't know why. I'm trying to double down everything so that I can play, you know, multiples of what I have in my hand. Now this I worry about for a minute, and then I worry about this twofold. I check this to see what it does, and then I worry I get in my own head that he knows I have Jun Charm now. Like the second I froze it up, I'm like, fuck, he's going to think I have Charm because he popped the healing spell, or his healing guy, you know, almost in retaliation or preempt a strike to a Charm. It's not how you should use that guy because obviously now Charm would resolve first and that guy wouldn't heal for shit. He still attacks then, though. He doesn't see the Charm coming. We're fine. We get the 2 damage on there. This guy invites me. I'm in game. It says in game, right? Detail damage. It completely wipes his field out. All I lose is a token. He sad freezes me here. But I don't have a lot of time. Like, the cool thing is Maelstrom Pulse. No, there's still lands, so never mind. The cool thing is Maelstrom Pulse, but that's not really going to dig me out. And then I draw this mofo, which I could play right here, and it is crushed. Like, I look at the man, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm such a dick, because I need those 3 red to play that goddamn dragon. And now I'm just thinking about, because that dragon really is my win con. against this deck. Because this deck has so, like we were saying, minutes ago, it's got so many different ways to get so many guys into my opponent's hand. Like this guy out on the field making dragons every single turn is going to be the only way that I can keep up long term. I can shit out a couple tokens next turn, but beyond that, I'm in a lot of trouble if I can't get this dragon out on the field. So I need that third land. I'm way behind because I couldn't have played it just right now when he has an open field. Because can you imagine the board position I'd be in if I had been able to play that? And he's drawing cards. So right now I'm really worried because whereas I'm running out of steam, he's re-gripping right now. And I see this goddamn Jorga that I've been worried about this entire time. I don't care about Spire Tracer. Jorga's a bitch and a half. And Timberwatch Elf is insanely good with the unblockable to dudes on the ground that he just drew. So I'm really devastated by that. It really couldn't go worse. But luckily, since I have a 5-1 out, Soul's Fire is a second removal spell. And I can take care of not only... I can take care of both the Jorga and the other elves, but that other elf at instant speed pump is shitty. Like, that thing's real bad. That's the first thing you have to take out, because otherwise it can just pump whatever you're targeting. Unless, as long as it's not Maelstrom Pulse, Maelstrom Pulse would kill it anyway, obviously, but... I'm not in a bad position, but I have to keep... I can't attack, which sucks dick, because I have to keep that thing alive so I can use Soul's Fire. I'm not happy about that, but I mean, I have to work with the removal I have. You know what I mean? It's not like I jump up and down that Soul's Fire is in this deck. It is awesome that I can aim it at my opponent. And it only costs 3, and sometimes, I mean, it's 5 damage for 3 right now, which is gross. We just gotta sit here, bide my time. I'm gonna kill the F out of that thing. I'm gonna kill that thing so hard, it's not even gonna know where it is at his end step. Because I hate that thing is super dangerous. I'm very lucky that we drew the Soul's Fire, because otherwise I would have had to use my Maelstrom Pulse on that thing, and then when he played Jorga, I would have been in trouble. Jorga's not even too crazy here. I finally draw this red mana, and I freak the out right now, because he's not going to block with this 1/1 because he thinks it's unblockable, even though, I mean, I don't know, that's kind of crazy to say. He doesn't block with the 1/1, I assume because of its ability. Otherwise, why wouldn't you just... His block right here is actually super fucking questionable. Like, I don't understand that at all. You have a Jorga in hand, which means that you can give the trample guy more... I don't know. I don't have a flyer out, so I assume that's why he did that. So now we're going to play this card, and a lot of interesting things happen when you play this card. Because I'm going to shit one out on his turn. But my whole thing is he's going to play a Jorga, alright, this turn. I assume he's going to play a Jorga this turn, so I want a 1/1 flyer so I can block down this Spire Tracer. So I'm not going to devour anything. And that's generally how you play that card. You don't devour... Well, that's generally not how you play that card. I'm sorry, I misspoke. That's generally not how you play that card. The time you want to devour is on the token that's played on their turn, because then when it becomes your turn, it doesn't have Summoning Sickness. You don't want to devour with the token that comes out on your turn, on the beginning of your upkeep, because that one obviously is not able to attack. So by doing that, by staggering them that way, you're always going to have at least a 1/1 out that was out on their turn for blocking or whatever the fuck you need that 1/1 to do, or that was out on your turn that gets eaten by the 1/1 out on their turn. I misspoke a ton during that, but you're going to see it played correctly here in a minute, which is going to illustrate it way better. Basically what I'm saying is you want the one... See, this no longer has Summoning Sickness. This one that comes out does have Summoning Sickness. So, and I accidentally clicked this thing, and I'm like, oh shit, how do I unclick stuff on the mouse? I have no idea, so I have to grab my controller. But you're viewing right now what you don't want to do. This thing has Summoning Sickness. Why would I feed stuff that can attack to it? It doesn't make any sense. So you're always going to leave the one back that's on your turn. Generally, I mean, this is an idealized situation, such as this one. This is a perfect situation for it. And the fact that this guy's got no flyers and no removal makes me just... I know I'm going to win this match at this point. Because I've got 2 removal spells in my hand. I'm shitting out dragons all the time. And now the one that I'm going to crap out on his turn at least has that 1/1 to eat. You see what I'm saying? And we'll go into it here in a second. And we'll actually get to see it more long term. I go ahead and Maelstrom Pulse that thing because I don't want to deal with it, because it's got trample and he's still got that Jorga, so I don't want to worry about that. So this guy's going to come out and we eat the 2 tokens that have already expended their attack. They're not useful to me anymore. So I go ahead and get rid of them. Now I have a 5/5 in the air, which is, I mean, that's it. That's it for this whole game. You're going to see that one more time just to better illustrate, turn order and utilizing your attackers and blockers correctly, I think. Because once again, when it becomes my turn, the 1/1 that I shit out is not going to devour anything because it's not useful at that point. If you need a blocker, then you can devour into... Plus, you're taking away attack points from the board because it's during your upkeep. But if you need a blocker so badly, then still do it on their turn. Make that 5/5, but on their turn. You know what I mean? At least attack them for 2. So, Tawny and Elf, I don't care about anything. I have a Maelstrom Pulse. I don't even care. I don't know why Jorgen never comes out. It's not it's not especially relevant in this match. Because I have so many flyers now at this point. But go ahead and just finish that. Don't even care. And we just move on. I mean, it's a beat train at this. There's nothing that elves can do to cope with this deck now at this point, especially with that dragon out. There's so many little tiny things that would make this deck so much better, but that's kind of what they've always done to dragons, is really hobbled the deck. And when they've tried dragons before, it's like, take all the dragons out. Okay, you've got a deck that loses 60% of the time instead of 90% of the time. This one's a little bit better. You get to play some dragons and have some fun with it. I'm going to eat everything pretty much. And I have another 5/5 out. And that's, it was game before, but it's definitely game now. So we got the 5/5. And now it's a 5/5 that can block. You're just recycling stuff that can't block and putting out stuff that can. It's amazing. It's great. This guy's great, especially in this matchup, because my opponent has no way to block flyers. He's got a couple dudes with reach. I don't even know what the fuck this is. I don't understand why this is in the elf deck. Like, I bring it up, I'm like, what? Is it tree who? What? Jorga finally dry drops down. I'm not positive why. I guess he's just playing out. There's no attacks here, I don't think. So you can, like, jump up and block. I'm not sure. But I'm going to 60 this deck probably tomorrow. Hopefully this goes out on Sunday or around the weekend sometime. So you guys will be watching gameplay with this deck. I don't know if I'm going to record them beforehand because I feel like I need to be a little bit sharper when I play this deck because you don't have the tricks up your sleeve that are super powerful. So you need to play it at its optimum. You can't afford to make a mistake with this deck. So I'm not sure how I'm going to handle it. I don't know though. I hope you enjoyed these quick little dirty ones. This one, like I said, was a little bit longer, so I'm glad for that. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow.